Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Capturing the Game. It's the Game Within the Game podcast featuring me, your co-host Desmond Jones. Today, unfortunately, as of right now, it seems like Brady is not with us today, but hopefully he'll join us in a couple of few minutes. But quick reminder to everyone, to all the listeners and subscribers out there, that Capturing the Game podcast is sponsored by Couch Sports Agency, where our CEO and founder is Sean Smith Jones. All right, introductions is out of the way. So today we have a special guest. She is the manager of team operations at Dallas Wings and the Panther City Lacrosse Club. She is no other than Amanda Miller. Amanda, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. That introduction was nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's something, I've been working on my introductions. So hopefully
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better with each episode. But yeah, so Amanda, can you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, my name's Amanda Miller. I'm from Duncanville, Texas. If you aren't familiar, we're one of the best every year in girls basketball. Just got to throw that out there. I played up until my junior year, and then my senior year there, I was a student manager. Uh, After Duncanville, I went to University of Texas at Arlington. That's where I graduated from. My degree was in business management. Right now, currently, like you said, I work for the Dallas Wings at Panther City Lacrosse Club as a manager of team operations.
Awesome. Also, so when you first started off with Dallas, you was originally an intern, right?
Yeah, I started off as an intern. I was doing double duty. So at the time, I was a graduate assistant for UT Arlington, and I was working the internship with the Wings. So the grind was crazy during that time.
That's crazy. How did you land your internship? I mean, how did you land your intern opportunity with them?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just I hate to use luck, but also just being at the right place at the right time. So the Wings, before they moved to Dallas, they were in Tulsa, and then they moved to College Park Center, and that's where UT Arlington is. That's where I went to school at. So when I was working for the team at UT Arlington, the Wings moved. I first was a season ticket holder, and I just kept coming in contact with the right people. And I mean, as a student manager, like we're at the gym more than anybody. And that's how the director of basketball operations was for the Wings. We just kept crossing each other's paths, crossing paths. And he's just asking me, like, do you want to be an intern? I'm like, sure. I mean, I've been a season ticket holder for a couple of years. Might as well just become an intern. And that's just after that, it was rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I for sure would have been like, yeah, you see
Yeah,
me here all the
like
time. Like, what do you think, man? I definitely want to come on board.
exactly.
But so you went from being an intern all the way up to the manager of team operations. How has that transition been like for you in your journey throughout your career?
you know, it had its challenges like everything else, but honestly, like I'd say my natural skill set just it translated very well to operations. While I was a student manager, I was handling a lot of the operations sides for UT Arlington because I worked directly under our basketball operations person. So it honestly just came naturally. I mean, I hate to say like I feel like I was just built for this, but it's like the transition was just easy. And for a while, I mean, I still tiptoe. I'm not sure tiptoe the line if I want to coach, if I want to stay for more of a front office position. But right now, I love what I do.
Can you go ahead and describe for like the audience, if you can, like what's some of your day-to-day activities that you have to do with the team?
Yeah, it's really hard to describe what I do. Basically, I like to describe it as I do everything but coach. On a day-to-day basis, it's like whatever the player needs. I take care of all of the gear, ordering shoes, equipment, whatever they need, whatever the coaches may need to get practice set up on the road, take care of travel, airplanes, hotels, working with the visiting team or the road, like whichever team, like whatever they may need from us. It's just I just like to say all the logistics, just everything but coaching. I don't call the plays. That's about it.
No, it definitely sounds like a lot of stuff that you have to manage, especially trying to make sure, every player has, everything that you need, from
Yeah.
whether it's shoes, socks, arm sleeves, headbands, hair ties, whatever the case may
Whatever
be.
you can think of.
Yeah. Oh no, that's crazy. But that's awesome that you've been having, fun doing that though, because you enjoying it, and I'm about to say like you probably definitely were built for this.
Yeah.
Especially with the experience that you had at at UTA and coming over to Dallas Wings and stuff. So I mean, it's always good to see your peoples out there doing good things. So
Yeah, for sure.
how what was it? So here's like a final question for you. So what was it like, coming from UTA to now kind of like be involved with like the day-to-day operation with the Dallas Wings? Like, have you like been starstruck at all, or you been moments where you kind of had to get over like your fandom side of you, kind of like put on your professional face?
You know, honestly, I wasn't ever too starstruck because my good friend Ariel Atkins, who went to high school with me, she plays for the Washington Mystics. So before I even started working with the Wings, I used to go visit her in Washington. So I was around like some of her teammates, like Della Don, Chrissy Tolliver. Like I didn't know them personally, but I was just in around them. So it's not like I was ever just like, oh my gosh, that's whoever. But it really hit me when I was an intern, and that's at the time that was Skylar Diggins last year with us, Skylar Diggins Smith. That was her last year with us, and it wasn't like a fan moment, but it was just like, wow. Like I remember she called me one day. I'm like, her name is popping up on my phone. Like that's crazy. Like I've been a fan of hers for so long. Like watching her in college was just like, wow. That was probably just the one moment, like when her name came across my phone and she needed something. I was like, okay, like I'm here. But outside of that, no, I don't know. I never really got too starstruck or took aback or nothing like that.
And I think all that is part of the reasons why you built for this. Because I would be like, "Yo, can you come sign this? Like,
Right.
can I get this autograph? Can I keep these pair of shoes? You really need
Yeah.
them? I'll send your closet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let me
I
go
try to
ahead."
play it cool. I try to play it cool because it's funny like you say that, but like that's kind of what they're used to, right? So it's like I don't want to I just want to come off like just a cool, normal person, like whatever. Like I don't want to seem like such a fan where they're cautious of me, like hey, I'm just here to help, whatever you need, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, and I'm sure you probably their number one go to with
Yeah,
anything they need. Like,
for
yo,
sure.
hit up Amanda. Yo, Amanda, we need this right now. I don't know if we
Yep.
can make it happen, but that's what we need.
Literally.
Oh man. So what is your roles gonna be similar with what you do with the Panther City Lacrosse Club?
Yeah, so this is actually my first year working with the lacrosse in general. I mean, my knowledge of lacrosse is very, it's not that much, but operations translates across a lot of sports. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be the same. On the wing side, though, I work under our director of basketball operations, so I kind of have a person to lean on because he's been in the league for a while. But on the lacrosse side, I mean, it's me basically running my own show. So I mean, it's going to be the same, but it's going to have its challenges, right? Because there's
Right.
not I don't have a crutch, like somebody that I can lean on. They say like, no, you need to do this, or you should probably do this. But it's going to be exciting. Like this, we're expansion team. It's just new. Everything's new. So I just have the chance to kind of build my own foundation, start, just create my own path for this.
Yeah, no, I think you're gonna be good based off the experience that you already have. I'm sure the challenging part of it is just you jumping into like I'll say not a new sport, but just a different sport that you're not comfortable with per se. But I mean, after a couple games, things underneath your belt, you be running that like a pro. They'd be like, dang, who is this Amanda chick that's out here
Right.
running things?
Hurry up on it. That's the plan. That's what I'm hoping for.
Nah, I'm sure you do good. But what made you want to take on that opportunity with an expansion team?
Honestly, I don't run from too much. If an opportunity sounds great, like I'm for it. I've never wanted to put myself into a box, especially if I'm not coaching. Like I'm not going to coach lacrosse, but on the operations side, I don't want to put myself into a box. I don't see why I can't do a different sport, or why one day I can't do football, NFL. I just took on the challenge of like it's time to learn something new and just force myself to grow, because basketball is more of a comfort zone. So just want to take on a new challenge, just try it out.
Nah, I think it's always good to kind of challenge yourself from time to time because we always get comfortable, especially like when you get to do stuff so much, like so often every day. And about like that 2 year mark, that 3 year mark, it's kind of time for like a new challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So like no diss to like our predecessors and stuff, but some of them have been working at say like the same job for like 30 plus years, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I don't know how you did that because I'm questioning myself every day I walk into the workplace right now.
Right. So I mean, that's how it be. So that's why I'm like, at least trying lacrosse, it'll sprinkle in as something else new into my world,
Yeah, so oh man, that's gonna be fun for you though. What were so have you been like keeping up with any of the 3-on-3 tournament with Alicia Gray being in there and stuff like that? Because I wanted to catch your thoughts on the 3-on-3 tournament because I haven't been able to watch any of it because it's either too early or I'm just catching the highlights. But yeah, I'd love to get your insight on it though.
Honestly, I haven't watched much of, like, same with you. Like, it's so hard for me to catch the games. I mean, I'll check the highlights just to watch my girl Alicia Gray get some buckets, but I'm just happy they added it. I know some people, they don't like all the different competitions that they've added to the Olympics, but it grows the sports world. I mean, I'm just happy that people get an opportunity to go to the Olympics for what they love. Or I mean, if 3v3 wasn't here, I don't know if she'd be on the, she would, I don't know if she'll be on the five, the regular Olympic team. So I'm just glad that gives her the opportunity to at least make it to the Olympics, her and the other players. So I support it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Anytime you can, especially go to the Olympics for stuff that you
Yeah.
love. I mean, can't
3v3, 1-on-1. I mean, as long as it gets you there.
right? So yeah, it doesn't matter how I got there, I'm
Mm-hmm.
there. And
Yep.
there's not many that can actually say that. But I think she's gonna be, definitely good.
Yeah.
She's been doing good from what I
Mhm.
can see from afar.
Yeah. And they just won today. I can't remember again too. So they're killing it so far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's been your thoughts on the WNBA season so far, and with everything going on?
I'm happy that these COVID restrictions are kind of loosening up. When the season first started, it was just a lot for everyone. Like, we had the COVID test every day, all the different rules. So now, like, now that that's kind of relaxing, I feel like everyone is able to just focus on basketball. I know after Olympic break, everyone, we're going to be allowed to have more fans in the building. We're going to be allowed to have courtside fans. So just from that perspective, that's great. This season, though, in general, I mean, everybody's so good, like from top to bottom. Like, you never know who's going to bring their A game that day. Like, you could look at it on paper, be like, oh, they should definitely win. But then the other team, the underdog, will end up kicking their butt. I mean, it's interesting. And then on Dallas, we're just trying to put it together. Like always, we're looking good. We're looking good. We just gotta stick with it. So after Olympic break, we'll see what happens. Everybody's rested. People are getting healthy. So I think it's going to be exciting to finish the season.
Yeah, I think this Olympic break is definitely gonna help out a lot of teams like kind of get healthy. They kind of get rid of some of the nicks and knacks and the bruises that they had along the way. So I'm expecting a lot of great competitive basketball play going into the playoffs time. So um, how has it? So, do you have any advice for people that are trying or inspiring to get into operations? Do you have any advice that you would love to share or give to those types of people?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not operations, it's the sports world in general, I would say just network, network, network. And when I say network, I mean, just be genuine with relationships, like with the people you come across. Like, because when you go into a relationship saying, oh, like in the back of your head, I'm just meeting this person so they can help me get a job, that's not genuine, and people can feel that. It's because you never know who you may come across. Like, if they just like you as a person, they can pass your name along to somebody else. Um, I would say just network and just work hard and never be afraid to try something different. Like, you may think you want to do operations in a ticketing sale, might open up and you're like, okay, I love this. And then you find your way to operations because you learn about tickets, you learn about this, you learn about that. Just keep pouring into your box of knowledge. Like, don't feel like, just don't put yourself in a box ever. Just keep pulling from different things, work hard, network, And I mean, that's about that's the advice I got.
No, that's solid advice, especially the key fact of never put yourself in a box. You
Mhm.
know, so many times you either like, all right, this is what I want to do, and you only focus down this particular path and never, look the other way. And there's even sometimes there's the times where people decide like, I think you'd be good over here, and you just
Right,
kind of settle for that, and you never hit that second gear.
right.
So, I mean, hey, your Nuggets, they're pretty good. So I'm writing them down. Has being a woman in your field affected your career at all? Like, how's that been for you?
It hasn't actually.
Right.
I mean, because I mean the WNBA, right, is predominantly Black women, but I am very interested to see how it'll affect me on the lacrosse side, just because it's a male dominated sport. I'm probably one of there's maybe two or three other women that work in the NLL, that's National Lacrosse League, and it's going to be different. Like everyone's nice, but it's really going to be different. So I don't know. Maybe if we chat again, I might have a better answer for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to tweet at you like, yo, so how's it going?
Yeah. Then I can give you the tea.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be. Look, I think no matter where you go, just based off the conversations that we have and the stuff like that, I think no matter where you go, you're gonna be successful. So, just
Appreciate
because of your attitude, your work ethic, and your willingness to just try new things, so I think you're gonna be like a solid everywhere you go.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. I gotta show the love and spread the love.
Mhm.
Has it as being a so what is as a team operator, right? What is like your worst nightmare that can
My
happen? Like, yeah,
nightmare.
yeah.
Whew. Wow, that's tough. I don't like to speak things to exist. I don't have to knock on wood here.
I'm not gonna
Uh,
wood for you. Hold up.
right. I'll have to say there's two things. We've been really fortunate this year with travel. So it's well documented how WNBA teams we fly, commercial, and there's always cancellations and all this type of stuff. So I would have to say for me personally, us not being able to get to whatever city we have to play in until maybe that next morning and we have a game that day, that would just be terrible. Like we have to sleep at the airport and then we'll fly out at 8 a.m. the next day, land at 11 and have a game at 5. Like that would just be absolutely terrible. And then I have to say just on gear, like players they're particular about stuff. So just with uniforms, I count how many uniforms I have probably 50 times. And my biggest fear is just like not having, I don't know, Arike's right shorts or something. And she's over here freaking out and we're in Chicago and there's nothing I can do about that. That's just about it. I would say just travel, like just something crazy happening at the airport and just something with gear that I can't fix at that second because we're on the road.
Yeah, that I can definitely imagine that being the worst case scenario, especially if you're on the road, like you don't have the access nor the plugs to
Yeah, like
certain things. Like you probably be in a situation where you asking the other team operations like, yo, you got this
that's
shoe maybe?
happened before. Yeah, like one time, I mean, I'm not gonna put them on blast. There's like
Yeah.
they're at our place. They're like, "Do you have an extra shoe?" Like I forgot to pack her shoes. I'm like, "Yeah, I got you," but that sucks though because the players are so particular, and we're over here just freaking out. Like, dang, I ain't got this. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, I can't run to Nike real quick. Like,
Uh,
so that's
uh
just gear stuff. That keeps. I'm super paranoid about that, but I try to cross all my T's, dot all my I's, and make sure I'm good so that doesn't happen. But stuff happens sometimes, so I just gotta adjust.
Yeah, I'll be the one. I'll be carrying around like extra. I'll be like extras on standby. Like how the people in the arenas that be selling like popcorn and stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
me. This is with all the gear. Like you need
Yes.
shoes, you need
It's
headbands.
ridiculous how much extras I have. And this year, I usually travel with super glue, but there is two instances where I needed super glue because the players they'll have 30 pair of shoes, but they only wear this one. and I'm having to super glue it together and running around the arena asking folks if they have any super glue, just little stuff, you know.
Oh man, that sounds like a nightmare, but also sounds fun at the same time.
It is, you know, as all I say is I just enjoy it. I just try to stay calm on the outside. In my head, whatever's happening is happening. But it keeps me on my toes. Like, I was like, is it really game day if I did panic for 10 minutes before the game? Like, you know, when things are going too smooth, it makes me nervous. Like, what's happening?
Those are the moments I'm like, things are going kind of easy right now.
Right,
You
like, what
start
am I
looking around.
doing?
I think we can go ahead and transition into our a rapid fire round.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, so this is a game that me and my partner like to play. We've been I think at this point in time we're probably like 30 episodes deep. So seeing all the responses so far has been fun,
Yeah.
and everyone has enjoyed it so far. But my question is for you is, are you ready to play?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right. So chocolate chip or oatmeal raisin?
Chocolate chip for sure.
See, I've been mostly oatmeal raisin,
Mm-hmm.
but now I'm at the point where I'm probably gonna start leaning back towards chocolate chip, just because I can't never get away from them.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, there's
always
nothing worse than biting into a cookie. You think it's chocolate chip, and it has raisins in it.
what?
Like, that's not
There's
it.
there's nothing wrong with some good oatmeal raisin cookies. As long as it's soft, and not the
Not
hard.
the hard. Okay, I could
Yeah,
get with the soft ones, but it's still not beating the chocolate chip cookie.
that's fair. That's fair. TV shows or movies?
TV shows. But to be honest, I don't watch. I never watch TV. So
Okay.
fun fact, never.
Okay. I was gonna ask, so it don't even make sense to ask the
I
next
watched The
question because
Office though. That's the only show I ever watched. I watched it on like repeat.
okay, I haven't watched The Office. That's like on one of my shows that's on my like to-do list. So
Yeah.
I haven't got to that yet. So I'm a big like newsflash, I'm a big nerd. So like I'm big into like the Marvel stuff, and any anime related stuff I'm kind of into. So just some of that. But I'm also a big sports fan as well, so I'm kind of complex in that
Yeah.
sense. So outside this one may get you in trouble, but outside of the Dallas Wings, what is your favorite WNBA jersey?
Ooh, Chicago. Their jerseys are tough. All of
Oh,
them. Home, away, the Rebel jersey. Their jerseys are tough. One of my favorite. One of my favorite.
what my favorite was their black jersey with that blue faded in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was trying not to get you too much into trouble with that one.
It's all good. I support the WNBA. I can say it was nice.
Okay. Uh, who is your top five in the WNBA right now? And it could be even all time as well.
uh, I'm gonna go with right now. In no particular order.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Stewie, Brandon Stewart, Asia Wilson. Uh, I mean, Tarazi and Subera, they're obviously like they're great. So I can't even put them in this conversation right now that I'm talking about, but just my top five, like right now.
Yeah.
Tina Charles is a beast. I love Deladine. I might just be biased. I love her. And then I'm gonna have to go with Arike Agumbawale. Best scoring guard in the league. I'll put her up there.
I think she deserves to be up there. So I love Enrique. Like she got game. And
Yeah.
like she just cold blooded. I mean, I've been kind of following her career ever since Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So um okay, so here's a more, I think it's gonna be tough for you. So what's your favorite sports moment you have either seen or witnessed?
Wow. That's tough. Well, witness, honestly, I was at the tournament where Enrique hit those game winners. I think it was the final four in the championship game.
Yeah.
Witnessed both of those. That was in, I think in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, That was amazing. I didn't even know her then, but just being a part of that in that arena and seeing her hit that shot to send them to the championship game and then hit another one to win it, that's amazing. Just being there, that's probably the best one I've ever witnessed. And then I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, so us winning a championship in 2011, that always just sits so close to my heart. Oh my gosh. And rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, his last game with the Lakers. Oh my God, that was crazy. He scored, I can't remember how much he scored. Was it like 40, 50?
It was 50. It was a 50 ball.
Yeah. Golly. That was probably one of the greatest too. I think I cried. Like, I was like, this is amazing. This guy really got to leave us.
Yeah, especially like looking back on that game now, it's like even more so now after his career is crazy. I'm trying to pull up the stats because now I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Kobe, he had 60 that game.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's up there. That might be number one. Enrique's number two, and then my Mavericks winner is number three. But all of those sit so close to my heart.
Yeah, I think Kobe's last game definitely hits to my heart because I remember watching that like, yo, this man gonna get 60 in his last
he's
game.
Gonna get 60. I was thinking like a cool 20, and then it went to 30, then 40. I'm like, yo, he's about to really get 60. Like, why is he even retiring at this point?
Right. I'm like, bro, you can still play. You dropping 60 in your last game.
Right. So yeah, that was a great moment for sure.
Yeah, man, you just brought back memories talking about that, man. What's so if you had a chance to take over any organization, who would you want to take over?
Any sport or
any sport. It could be any sport. It don't even have to be sport related. It could just be any organization.
Wow. Honestly, probably the Dallas Cowboys. I want us to get back to winning Super Bowls. I mean, I don't know if I could. I hope I could get us there, but if you give me the right knowledge, I just want to get some Super Bowl rings to Dallas. So I'd rock with it.
You're not the first person that said the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I don't. Not say I don't get it because they are America's team, whatnot, but man, it's crazy just to hear as many like you probably like the fourth person that said the Dallas Cowboys, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean that would just hit different. Like we are, like said, America's team, though we haven't been winning much, but it's like bringing back a championship to America's team. Like I don't think you could beat that.
Okay, I can't argue that point. But yeah, that wraps up the rapid fire round. But I wanted to go back into the interview portion real quick because I just thought about what I wanted to ask you originally was so far you've been working in the W for a couple of years now. What's one thing that you wish that the league would do better with?
That's a tough one. I mean, I wish the pay could increase enough for the women. That way they don't have to go overseas.
Yeah.
That's really one thing I wish because that's tough on their bodies. Like just being around them, like playing high level basketball year round is tough. That's just one thing I wish that could definitely change. I also just would travel, like they deserve to be on private planes with the amount of travel that we do is ridiculous. Like being on commercial planes and some of them having middle seats because everything's sold out and just having to have all these interactions. Like, yeah, we should be flying private. I wish we could just across the league because that's just tough. Like traveling in itself takes such a huge toll on them on top of like, you've been through the airport, like the airport's draining. It's so draining. Just having to do that day after day after day that's a lot. So those are probably just the two things. Just make traveling easier on them. That way they can have more time to properly recover and then just getting them paid more. I mean, I'm not the person to say they should be making $100 million. Like, I don't know if the league, we can't do that clearly, right? But just something enough to supplement, like where they don't have to feel like they have to go overseas. So that's probably, those are my two.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because I know I've talked about it a couple of different times and a couple of different spots on this podcast where their timeline, their schedule is crazy. Like
Yeah.
from at the end of the season, I had to go play overseas,
Mhm.
overseas to come back play in the U.S. Like that whole transition is crazy. And I even think about
Out,
this
my bad
year's.
to cut you off. They're out like that's one thing I didn't realize until I was an intern how fast they leave. When our season ends, usually they're overseas in 5 or 6 days. Like they're able to go home for a couple of days and then they're out of the country. I don't know. I thought it was like maybe a month wait or 2 weeks, something like so. I want to say half of my team my first year were out in 3 days playing that next week after having an entire grueling WNBA season. And then they come back to the States usually a week or two before training camp. Like it's nonstop. It's ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, and I even like just even thinking about the rookies transitioning from from college to the pros because like this year in particular like you had your draft well, I think it was like April 16th, like a month later then training camp, 2 weeks
Mhm.
later after that the season starts. Like
Yeah.
like that's so crazy. That whole turnaround is nuts.
Mhm.
And I could like you could see why maybe some rookies may struggle just because of the the gap that they have to cover as far as as far as like they didn't really get a chance to work on the game, since like they just got done playing in the final game, the final championship game, and a month later now they're playing,
Yeah. They're still
doing
like
workouts.
graduating college, finishing up
Right.
classes, and we're starting training camp. Like it's really crazy. Like honestly, it amazes me like what these players have to deal with.
And then I think the whole travel aspect is the more I even think about it, you see a whole team in the airport, and you probably stand next to them on flights, like,
Yeah.
hey, like,
I
how's it
remember
going?
one lady asked just the questions we get too. It's just like it's stupid sometimes. Honestly, like one lady said, "Are we a high school club team?" It was a flight attendant,
No,
and I was just like, come on now.
no.
We just it's just so disrespectful sometimes. Like, I know they're not doing it on purpose, but it's just like dang. Just ask who we are. Like anybody out here that's listening, like if you don't know, just ask. Don't just assume,
Yeah,
oh, you're a high school team like that. Don't disrespect these women like
I'm like
that.
these grown women, a
These
high
grown
school team,
girls 6'5". Like I don't know how
right?
many high school teams have 4 6'5" kids on a roster, but
Man, oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah, I do feel I feel kind of bad about that because I'm sure that happens often, which kind of sucks because I speak to like people just not being aware
fair.
of the league or just proper things to even say or ask. But at the same time, like those women don't need to be in the same space
Yeah,
as everything else, and that's the bigger problem with
yeah,
things.
for sure.
Uh, but yeah, so that wraps. Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because I always was just curious.
Mhm.
The women definitely. Go back to your other point. The women definitely do deserve to be paid more, and I'm hoping as the league looks to expand or kind of grow and we continue to promote that the league will continue to grow. So.
Oh yeah, we have to expand too. I should have touched on that for sure. That will help. There's so many great players out here that aren't even in the league because of limited roster spots.
And I think the expansion is gonna happen soon though. Do you have any city that you would love to see like a team and take habitat at?
Yeah. Selfishly, I mean, I would love to add Miami to the list of places for me to travel to, but because we have so many other cool cities that teams are in. But I don't know. I feel like California, you could throw another team somewhere in there. Houston. I feel like Cali or Texas, we should throw one more team in where I'm not sure, but I don't know.
I got you. Yeah, I think Oakland
Mhm.
is probably gonna get one day, and then Philadelphia probably.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I can see that.
Either that,
Yeah.
either yeah, either that or if you maybe possibly Charlotte or Louisville. So I think those are two
I
solid
feel like it'll
choices.
be a team that already has an NBA team there. I feel like that's wherever it may be. I'm pretty sure. If I had to guess, it'll be somewhere that there's already an NBA team there.
Okay, okay. I mean, I definitely agree with that too. Um, so yeah, either way, it's gonna be fun to see the W grow, and I just want I definitely we definitely want what's best for the women, so we definitely want them to continue to grow, continue to get the respect that they deserve, especially with them leading so many different social issues that's going on in the world, and just women just being treated fairly. So many times that women are looked down upon or not recognized as well as other men. So definitely you know want what's right for the woman. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, but yeah, that concludes today's episode. But one final question is, can you go ahead and tell the audience where they can follow you at so they can kind of follow your career and stay up to date with you?
Yeah, my name on all social media platforms is Whoa underscore it's Amanda. So that's WHOA underscore it's Amanda. You can find me on anything with that name.
Definitely unique. And so, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another episode of Capturing the Games, the Game Within the Game podcast. Thank you for all the listeners, subscribers that we have. Please continue to share, retweet, subscribe, share with your friends, tweet about us, tweet at us. We'll respond back to you. Thank you for listening. Amanda, it was definitely fun having you on with a quick chat. I would definitely have to talk back to you and try to figure out how did your lacrosse year ago with your new team. So get the inside scoop and tea on that. So, well, yeah, Amanda, it was definitely fun. Talk with you. Best of luck with everything going forward.
All right, thank you.
No problem.